We see eating utensils as part of evolution and modernity.
Have you wondered why we use eating utensils instead of our hands? Or if by using different eating utensils you can be smarter?
Well, first, let's consider our diet. In the Western, we adopted knife and fork suitable to our foods.
Knife was the first eating utensil found, made out of stone and produced during the Neolithic age 3000 to 700 BC. The Bronze Age brought about new utensils forged of copper and bronze. During the Middle Ages, people ate with their hands, except for the wealthy that used utensils to impress. Even during the Renaissance, people carried knives to stab and eat. Louis XIV of France banned sharp-pointed knives to avoid the stabbing of people and replaced them with round-tipped knives.
The Victorian era revolutionized eating utensils. Tomato server, sardine fork, jelly knife, cheese scoop, dessert fork, soup spoon, fish fork and knife, fruit fork, roast fork, meat fork, and snail fork are among the many elaborations of the theme. As we know, other cultures have different diets. So, eating utensils. Fingers are the main utensils used for Indians to eat their meals. While Indians use their hands for eating, Iranians use their hands for tearing bread. A spoon and fork are used for eating, knife is not used on the table. In Thailand, people use spoon and fork for eating. Thai people eat noodles with chopsticks as in many Asian cultures. If we move to the other side of the world, we will find that most of Asian people eat with chopsticks as eating utensils, as is the case for China, Korea, and Japan. Early chopsticks date from 1200 BC in China, and they were used for cooking. It wasn't until 500 to 400 BC that people began eating with chopsticks as eating utensils. This happened when a population boom sapped resources and forced cooks to develop cost-saving habits. They began chopping food into smaller pieces that required less cooking fuel, and happened to be perfect for the tweezers-like grip of chopsticks. As food became bit-sized, knives became more or less obsolete. Knives' descent and chopsticks' ascent also came courtesy to Confucius. As a vegetarian, he believed knives at the dinner table would remind eaters of the slaughterhouse. Chopsticks moved from China first into Korea and then to Japan. Korea, Japan, and other Asian cultures date their first use of chopsticks back in 500 BC. Throughout history, chopsticks have been a major influence to Asian cuisine. Naturally, eating with chopsticks lends itself to some types of food more than others, such as rice and beans. Wealthy diners could eat with ivory, jade, coral, brass, agate versions of chopsticks, while the most privileged used silver sets. It was believed that silver would corrode and turn black to the contact with poisoned food. When we think about chopsticks, we think about Asian food. Food, along with Asian culture, arranged the use of chopsticks. Like their counterparts, spoon and fork, the use of chopsticks also implies table etiquette and manners, which are different in each culture.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. 어서 오세요. 저희 찹스틱 하우스에 오신 것을 환영합니다. 젓가락은 중국, 일본, 우리나라 이렇게 세 나라에서 쓰는데 그 문화 차이로 인해서 젓가락이 좀 틀려요. 그래서 중국은 대가족이 같이 먹기 때문에 식탁이 아주 커요. 그러면 가운데 이렇게 음식 넣는 데가 있어서 그걸 돌려서 먹잖아요. 그러니까 그걸 집어 먹으려면 젓가락 길이가 길 수밖에 없고 약간 두께도 두꺼워요. 저희 거보다. 우리나라 저기 식탁은 중국 거보다는 작아요. 그래가지고 중국과 일본 중간 사이즈고 저희 젓가락은 길이가 이게 보편적으로 우리나라 젓가락 사이즈예요. 그래서 우리는 이제 밥상에서 너도 먹고 나도 먹고 이렇게 요 정도로 걸어 먹기 때문에 사이즈가 요 정도고 일본 사람들은 자기 앞으로 이렇게 먹기 때문에 젓가락 사이즈가 짧아요. 예, 끝에가 더 얇은 이유는 이제 생선을 많이 먹는 나라잖아요. 그래서 다시 별로.
Let's explore the use of chopsticks. How to hold the chopsticks. One chopstick goes between your thumb and your index finger, resting in your middle finger. The second chopstick goes next to the first chopstick, but using your ring finger as support. The first chopstick is the only one moving, using your index and middle finger for motion, while the bottom chopstick remains static. The way Chinese hold chopsticks is no different to the way Koreans and Japanese do. There is no exact length position when holding the chopsticks, since this is different to every culture. However, as a general rule, don't hold the chopsticks too close to the top, neither too close to the tip. Make sure not to cross the chopsticks. If you're holding them in the right way, this is not supposed to happen.
Men and women hit their marks for several top finishes. It started with the men's 25
Asians are well known for acing in sports such as archery and shooting competitions. Koreans stand out among online gamers as the best in the world. These sports have a common factor: fine motor skills. Recent studies have shown that the use of chopsticks engage more joints in motion than Western eating utensils. The levels of hemoglobin in the brain are higher in the frontal and prefrontal cortex, which are in charge of executive functions such as decision taking. The levels of hemoglobin are even higher when using slippery stainless steel chopsticks, followed by wooden chopsticks. Chopsticks in average outweigh spoon and fork in about 50% or higher neuronal brain activity. The eye field, improving readiness to distinguish and process stimuli, and the motor cortex, which controls our motor skills, in which our hands occupy the biggest portion of the cortex, are enhanced with higher pump of hemoglobin into it. From video games to sports, using chopsticks every once in a while can give you skillful hands, make you faster at perceiving visual stimuli, and to become a faster decision maker.